Right now, sitting wherever you are, your heart rate just changed. Maybe it was an email. Maybe it was a notification. Maybe it was nothing you can even name. But somewhere in your chest, a switch flipped. The same switch that once meant the difference between living and being eaten. The real answer to why your body reacts this way isn't about your email inbox. It's about a war your body still thinks it's fighting. One that ended roughly 10,000 years ago, and nobody ever told your nervous system it was over. Your body is not built for the world you live in. It was built for a much older, much more dangerous one. And it never got the memo that things changed. For most of human history, life was organized around a short list of very real threats. Predators, starvation, violence from rival groups, exposure to cold or heat with no shelter in sight. In that world, your body needed one thing above all else, a system that could react instantly, without waiting for permission from your thinking brain. That system still exists. It's sitting inside you right now, fully loaded, waiting for a lion that is never going to show up. In the early 1900s, a physiologist named Walter Cannon studied what happens inside an animal's body the moment it senses danger. He watched adrenaline flood the bloodstream. He watched heart rate spike, blood shift away from digestion and toward the muscles, breathing quicken. He gave this cascade a name that's still used today, the fight or flight response. It was elegant. It was fast. And it was designed to solve one specific kind of problem, a threat that shows up, gets resolved, and then goes away. Here's the part that should unsettle you. That system was built for threats measured in minutes. A predator either catches you or it doesn't. A fight either ends or it doesn't. Once the danger passes, the body is supposed to power back down. Heart rate drops. Digestion resumes. The system resets, ready for the next emergency, whenever that might be. But what happens when the danger never actually resolves? What happens when the threat isn't a lion, but a slow, ongoing hum of pressure that never fully goes away? This is where your modern life enters the picture. Because your body cannot tell the difference between a predator crouched in the grass and a looming deadline. It cannot tell the difference between a physical attacker and a hostile email from your boss. As far as your ancient alarm system is concerned, a threat is a threat. The chemical response is nearly identical. Your adrenal glands don't ask for context. They just fire. A neuroendocrinologist named Robert Sapolsky spent decades studying this exact mismatch, first in wild baboons, later applying what he learned to humans. His central finding was almost darkly funny. Zebras, he pointed out, get stressed for the 90 seconds it takes to outrun a lion, and then it's over. Their stress response does exactly what it evolved to do. Humans, on the other hand, can trigger that same biological cascade just by thinking about a conversation that hasn't happened yet. You don't need a lion. You just need a thought. Think about what that means. Your body can be flooded with stress hormones while you're sitting completely still. No predator, no physical danger, just a memory, a worry, a scroll through a news feed. And your body responds exactly as if you were being hunted. This wouldn't be so dangerous if it happened rarely. The problem is frequency. Your ancestors experienced acute stress in short, intense bursts, followed by long stretches of relative calm. You experience something closer to a low, constant simmer. Notifications, traffic, financial pressure, social comparison. None of it individually looks like a lion. All of it, together, keeps the same ancient alarm quietly ringing, day after day, year after year. A researcher named Bruce McEwen gave this phenomenon a name, allostatic load. It refers to the cumulative wear and tear on your body from chronically activated stress systems. Your body is built to handle short emergencies brilliantly. It is not built to handle emergencies that never fully end. Every time that alarm fires and doesn't get the chance to fully reset, it leaves a small trace. Elevated blood pressure, disrupted sleep, a slightly weakened immune system. None of it feels catastrophic in the moment. but it accumulates quietly the way sediment builds on a riverbed. Why does this matter for you specifically, scrolling through a feed engineered to trigger exactly this response over and over all day long? Because the modern world didn't remove the threats your body evolved to detect, it just changed their shape. Social rejection used to mean exile from a group of 150 people your survival depended on. Now it can mean a comment left on read, or a message that goes unanswered for a few hours. Your nervous system doesn't know the stakes have shrunk. It reacts as though your literal survival is on the line, because for most of your evolutionary history, being cut off from the group actually was a survival threat. This is why chronic loneliness activates the same stress pathways as physical danger. This is why financial insecurity can trigger the same hormonal cascade as an actual physical attack. Your body isn't malfunctioning when this happens, it's doing exactly what it was built to do. The malfunction, if you can call it that, is a mismatch between an ancient alarm system and a modern world that never stops providing small, low-grade reasons to sound it. Consider what this means for something as simple as your sleep. In an ancestral environment, darkness meant relative safety. The group gathered close, threats receded, cortisol dropped, and the body eased into rest. Now, darkness means a phone screen glowing 2 feet from your face, delivering a steady stream of exactly the kind of social and informational stimuli your stress system was built to respond to. You're not weak-willed for struggling to put the phone down before bed. You're fighting millions of years of programming that associates novel information with potential threat and therefore worth staying alert for. There's a strange kind of comfort buried inside all of this, if you look for it. Your racing heart before a presentation, that tight feeling in your chest before a hard conversation, the way your stomach drops when you see an unexpected message from someone important, none of that is a personal flaw. It's an ancient, highly capable survival system doing exactly its job, just aimed at targets it was never designed to evaluate. The system isn't broken, it's simply pointed at the wrong century. This doesn't mean the stress is imaginary or that you should simply think your way out of it. The hormones are real. The elevated heart rate is real. The wear on your body over years of chronic activation is measurably real, showing up in research on cardiovascular disease, immune function, and even cellular aging. What changes when you understand the mismatch isn't the biology. It's the interpretation. You stop asking what's wrong with you and start asking what your body thinks is happening and why. Some researchers push back on how directly ancestral stress responses map onto modern chronic stress, since ancient humans certainly experienced their own long-term pressures, from famine to intergroup conflict to disease. Life 100,000 years ago wasn't uniformly calm between predator encounters either, but even those critics generally agree on the core mismatch. Whatever your ancestors experienced, they were not subjected to a continuous, low-level stream of social and informational triggers delivered directly into their nervous system dozens of times an hour, every single day for decades. That specific pattern is new. Your alarm system is old. So the next time your chest tightens over something that, rationally, you know isn't a physical threat, remember what's actually happening underneath. A system built over millions of years to detect danger in 90-second bursts is doing its best to make sense of a world that never stops sending it low-grade signals to interpret. It isn't malfunctioning. It's outdated. And once you can see the gap between the world your body expects and the one it's actually living in, you stop treating every spike of anxiety as evidence that something is wrong with you, and start seeing it for what it really is, old software, straining to run in a world built for something else entirely. Right now, sitting wherever you are, your heart rate just changed again reading this. And for the first time, maybe you understand exactly why.